They took it out of the movie? That's right, we're watching the Disney's live-action Snow White. Before we start this movie, I want a little appreciation for this look that I got together. I did some cute makeup, got a Snow White inspired outfit, and even cut my hair. No, I'm kidding, I didn't cut my hair. My hair is actually tied up in the back and this is just the top layer. I am, however, really wearing a corset for this outfit. I felt like it was very Snow White inspired, especially because it got this cute little ribbons at the front that you cannot see because I'm sitting down. But it's a thought that counts, and I feel like that on its own already deserves a like, so please click those like buttons for me. There were so many negative reactions towards this movie, but I actually really liked it, especially the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. Are you guys ready? Because I'm ready, so let's start and watch Snow White. Wait, did I just see a hidden Mickey in the intro? What, is that always there? I don't think I ever noticed that before. I'm gonna look for it the next time I watch a Disney movie. The cute little hedgehog.
Blotting out the kingdom in a bitter storm of snow and ice.
I really like this intro, how they do it with the book like in the original, but in a very, very beautiful style. You even see the image move a little bit, and then the transition into the live action movie. Gorgeous.
To honor the night she arrived, her parents named the girl Snow White.
Obviously, there were some comments toward this actress playing Snow White, saying that her skin isn't as white as snow, because this is how it is told to us in the original movie. And I also had my doubts about it, like how are they going to change the story to make that part make sense? Immediately in the beginning, they kind of explained that she got that name not because her skin is as white as snow, but because she was born during a snowy storm.
They showed her how to rule with love. For someday.
That castle is so pretty. Oh my god.
Where we plant a tender seed, trusting something good will grow. A kingdom for the free and the fair.
There's a lot of things I liked about this movie. A thing that I didn't like as much is the choice of wardrobe. I am so confused with almost all their wardrobe choices. I feel like they wanted to make it a little bit old-fashioned, but also modern, and combined the two. And I don't know if I'm a fan of that. The castle is so pretty.
And the seed of someone who will lead.
Now this I love. I love, love, love. First of all, it's a crossover to the original Snow White where she's singing to the well. The little doves are there. She's like singing her wish. And I also think it's very beautiful how her parents in the story tell her like you can choose who you want to be. You just have to envision it and then you can become that person.
Someone fair.
Someone fair.
Snow White's mother fell ill. And the good queen died.
That's also a really, really pretty way of showing us with the paddle and her just like rippling away.
An enchanting woman from a far-off land appeared at the palace.
Ah, there's our queen!
She kept a magic mirror, which could answer but one simple question.
Magic mirror on the wall.
This mirror actually looks so much like the OG mirror in the original story. It's been a while since I've seen the original Snow White, but from what I remember as a kid, first of all, I was terrified of this mirror. Whenever this mirror in the cartoon version showed up, I would hide under the couch. But I feel like they did such a good job at modernizing the mirror, yet keeping it exactly the same as the original.
Fear gripped the kingdom, and the queen's power grew.
This beautiful cinematics, just having the entire land turn dark.
From the mountain high
To the deepest mine.
there's the golden sky.
Did it ever shine?
This little part with the kids, it's so cute and they sing it so beautifully.
The people nearly forgot there ever was a princess named Snow White.
And then this transition of her turning older. They did a good job on this.
Is there something I can help you with?
When I saw this at the movies, I saw this guy standing there being a thief, and I was like, is this gonna be him? Is this gonna be her love interest? The guy? They obviously had to make a few changes about their love story, and I'm not mad at this one. I think it's a pretty good one, actually.
That's okay. Just browsing.
And he says, nah, I'm good, I'm just browsing, and then continues on taking all the potatoes.
At some point, it might be useful for her to stop thinking. Maybe start doing.
I'm sure if the Queen was aware of how desperate things have gotten, she would be happy to share.
No, she won't. She will not.
Even if it is just a wish.
And you even hear the word wish echoing in the well. Nice little detail. Oh, the difference. She was out in the open and there was light, and then we go to where the Queen is eating and everything is dark and there's candlelight. The aesthetics are so different and I love it. The big contrast tells you exactly where you are in the story.
What I came to speak to you about, actually. Sharing.
Oh my gosh, her face. Snow White said the word sharing and the Queen was like, what? That's not in my vocabulary. Vocabulary. You know what? Never mind. Oh, the snap. Oh.
You were saying?
It's just... We'd pick apples. We'd take them and make pies, then go out into the village.
Pies?
Cute little crossover. Apples, pies, apple pies. Something cartoon Snow White is making at the dwarf's cottage.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
How she says those things, perfection.
Ravishing, isn't it?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, she just went, and then she had a diamond. Oh, the visuals on this. Am I maybe a bit of a simp for the Queen? Maybe. But I mean, who isn't? Come on.
Everlasting, flawless,
Beautiful.
This criminal was caught in the scullery pilfering royal supplies.
I'm sorry, but the hair flip.
That's a lie.
They made him funny. I like his attitude.
Move his coat and boots and bind him to the gates to freeze.
You know, is the dungeon still an option?
Take him away!
Is the dungeon still an option? He's funny. We're getting Waiting on a Wish.
I long to leave the walls behind me.
The transitions they put into the song, again, cinematically wise, beautiful. And the song, it's so good. It really describes the situation she's in, how she's thinking, and the wish that she has for herself and her people.
Or will I spend another year waiting on a wish?
This moment, I love this when she kind of goes down a little bit with her voice and then the music drops and we go into this like rich moment.
Is let it go, echo.
That is a very obvious crossover to the original movie, Let Your Wish Echo in the Well. I mean, that's Snow White's entire first song about in the original movie. I'm actually surprised that Mop stood in the bucket. 9 out of 10 times, if you will put something with a big stick in something like a bucket, it'll flip over.
Tell me what it's like out there.
Why don't you come and find out?
This little interaction that they're having, I think it's so cute. It just brings so much to their connection and them essentially falling in love later. And it's definitely so much better than some random guy climbing over your wall and then deciding upon first sight that you are his one true love and then, you know, kind of stalking you. I also really love this next part, this line that she's singing.
Well, I can always dream, but then I wake up and it's me again.
I don't know why, but I just really love that line.
Famed is thy beauty, majesty. But wait. A lovely maiden I now behold, awakened to the world.
I don't remember if the original mirror used to rhyme all the time, but I feel like that's something that they could do, especially since the mirror is kind of like talking in an old-fashioned style. I feel like it would have been fun if they also made all the lines rhyme.
Take Snow White far into the forest. Find a secluded glade where she can pick apples.
I also really like this. Instead of picking flowers, go pick apples, which ties back to her saying that they used to pick apples and making apple pies. It just makes a lot more sense than picking flowers.
It was Snow White who set the bandit free. She's plotting against me.
That is actually very smart of her. Instead of just saying you need to kill her without giving any reason, she is giving the reason that she freed the bandit, so she must be plotting against the queen. Henceforth, that's a reason to then go off and kill her.
Kill her.
The box, love to see it. It's a little bit different than the original design, I think. This one is white with blue, but the idea is the same, with the heart in the middle and the sword going through it. Okay, we're having the iconic Snow White dress. Now wardrobe. It's time we have a chat again. Some Disney dresses are so beautifully done. Look at Cinderella's dress. Look at the clothes of Jasmine. Really well done. They modernized the original dress and it turned out great. This one, in my opinion, is a fail. Somehow they wanted to keep it close to the original, but change it up a little bit, but I think they changed the wrong things. First of all, it feels way too vibrant, but I feel like this with almost all the clothes that they were wearing, even the farmers, it's so vibrant and it feels weird. This moment also goes back to the original, that she is standing with a rock and you can see the shade of the huntsman in the back. This time there is no fallen bird, however. I feel like in general they showed us a little less animal moments than they did in the original movie. I do kind of like in this moment that she's kind of like standing her ground to show that she is indeed brave, and that the huntsman spares her life because he just sees a kind heart and not because she is just a pretty cute girl.
You must flee into the woods.
But I do think he switched up a little too fast. First of all, also, why would you just go to someone with a dagger like this and then hold it by their neck? If you really wanted to like sneak attack someone, she was literally with her back towards you. Wouldn't you just like stab her in the side or something first? Why wait till she turns around and then point it at her neck? And I think he kind of switched up too fast. Maybe he should have panicked a bit more that he really couldn't do it. And oh no, the queen is gonna be mad. What is he going to do? Maybe she should just flee. Otherwise, there's no chance that she'll live if she goes back. It went a little too fast. He immediately was like, oh no, I can't do it. You have to flee. Like, did you already think of this plan?
You were never told the truth about your father. Go.
What about my father?
Oh, please, before I change my mind.
Really? I mean, I understand movie-wise, but really? You go and drop the bomb like, oh, by the way, she lied about your father. He actually didn't die going to a war. And then you're like, no, I can't tell you. You have to run now. Like, really? You're having the scary wood scene. How many of you out there got nightmares about this scene when you were a kid? I think they did a pretty good job actually at keeping this pretty similar to the original. She also fell into the water in the original movie. I am missing the log crocodiles. It's a little baby. Where did you get the piece of... What? Where did you get the piece of bread from? Was it in your skirt? Does she have pockets in her skirts? Where'd you get the food from? And you just fell in the water. Isn't it completely soggy right now? It is a little bit odd how the light just completely made a 180. It was dark, gloomy, scary, and then they just flipped it and the sun is out and the trees are in bloom and everything's pretty. This rabbit dangling from the door handle. It's adorable. I do kind of miss here the moment when Snow White in the original movie just sees the house and she's like knocking on the door saying, "Hello, is someone there?" And then she fogs up the window and is like looking through the little circle to see if anyone's home. I understand that the animals here open the door, but she is just kind of randomly walking into somebody's home. At least in the original movie, she actually knocked and asked if somebody was there before she entered the house. Aww, the hedgehog rolling down. The hedgehog is really cute. I think they replaced the turtle for the hedgehog. I distinctively remember this poor turtle in the original movie having to climb up those stairs way slower than all the animals, and then when he finally reached the top, all the animals went down again. I like that we're seeing the names of the dwarves on the beds, like in the original, but that she doesn't like name all of them, but she just goes to bed. Because in the next song that is coming, which actually is one of my favorite songs of this movie, gives us a little introduction to some of the dwarves. Now, I never imagined that this would be one of my favorite songs. I didn't per se like it in the original movie, but in this one, I think they did an amazing job on this song.
Hi-ho! 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 It's off to work we go.
Whenever I hear it, I just instantly get happy. I want to do this little dance.
All dressed and fit, full speed ahead.
They quoted Epic the Musical! If anyone is an Epic the Music fan, I did blind reaction to the last 2 albums, and I will do an animatic reaction to all the albums coming soon.
A splendid day to say
that's you! Oh my, isn't I? Why, thank you.
They were so smart introducing some of the dwarves to us in this song.
Why don't you shut it, Grumps?
Obviously, we just had Sneezy and Grumpy.
It's better, go.
Hello?
I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know. Well, that was sleepy.
Deep in the dark, our magic will mark us spot where the sparkle starts to shine.
Now, how these magical hands powers work, I have no idea. No clue what they did here, but it's cool.
And as we swing, we always sing hi-ho.
Oh, the slowing down and then going faster again.
my smile starts to grow.
I glow. I'm happy.
Yeah, we know.
Happy. And this next moment, they shift from the first song into the next dwarf song, and it blends so well.
Hi-ho! We dig from early morn till night.
Oh! This is a very obvious crossover to the first movie. There, Dopey also had the 2 diamonds in his eyes.
See, sometimes I get so wicked. He's bashful.
Yeah, we know! Bashful.
We'll sleep.
Amen.
Alright, and then it's off to work we go again.
The build up with the music.
Easy with that door, Doc.
They did change the big moment when the dwarves are still outside the cottage and the animals first rush out because they hear the dwarves and then they think someone is in their house and they go in all secretly and then someone has to go upstairs. They kind of shortened that moment and just went inside like nothing is wrong, and then when they go up to the bedroom, that's when they see Snow White sleeping in their bed, and then they're like, whoa, wait, what is this? She also has not cleaned the house yet. In the original movie she does this with the animals, but here she's going to do it later with the dwarves.
Time to worry.
Poor Dopey, they locked him inside.
It's a demon goat.
Did he say it's a demon goat or ghost? He's like, I'm not here.
I only wanted to meet you.
Oh! I'm sorry, but he is so cute.
I I'd better go.
Told you. Yeah, wait, hold.
Grumpy is kind of funny as well.
I say it's a trap. But she needs our help. Does anyone still think she's a ghost? Wait, where are you going?
I saw like this, that she was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to bring any trouble to you, and immediately wants to leave, and then the dwarves are like, no, wait, maybe we can help you.
A human shows up in this cottage for the first time in 275 years.
275 years? The dwarves are 275 years old? Or older?
Did he just say 275 years?
Oh, she also heard it. I wasn't the only one who heard it and had questions.
Allow me to introduce, in alphabetical order, Bashful, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Sneezy, and I'm Doc.
Alphabetical order, but you said yourself, dog, lest. But dog starts with a D. Bashful, dog, dopey, grumpy. Bashful, dog, dopey, grumpy, sleepy, sneezy. Who is number 7? Oh, wait, I forgot happy. Wait. Bashful, dog, dopey, grumpy, happy, sleepy, sneezy.
What was last time?
So in reverse order, it's sneezy, sleepy, happy, grumpy, dopey, doc, and bashful.
Wow, she remembered that fast.
The longest toes to the shortest toes. I have the longest toes.
Toes?
Look at the time.
I love that he's not just sleepy, but he actually just like literally falls asleep every 5 seconds. In the scene, we are shown that she already received the chest of the huntsman, but I think it's kind of sad that we don't see what the huntsman did to replace Snow White's heart, what kind of heart he stole. We don't see the reaction when she gets the chest, nor if she checks if there's a heart inside. I don't know. I feel like they could have done something to show us what happened.
Somewhere in the woods dwells Snow White.
Also, this mirror is one big snitch. All she asks is, am I the fairest one of all? All he had to do was say, nope, I'm sorry. Or someone else is more fairer. He did not need to specify it was Snow White. He did not need to specify where she was. He completely snitched her out and told the queen where she is.
Fairest lives. She is not you.
I do like that line though. I'm only bound by what is true. The fairest lives. She is not you. That's a poetic roast. Ooh, okay, so now she goes to the chest to check what's in there. Oh, it's literally an apple. I completely forgot this somehow. The huntsman did not try to hide it. In other stories, you know, they took a heart of a deer or anything, but he just put an apple in there? What if she immediately checked? You would have lost your head on the spot. That's a risk to make. It's time for her song. I actually didn't expect her to have a song in the first place because she didn't have one in the cartoon version, so I was really surprised by this. But the song itself, the lyrics and the music, it really feels like the evil queen. I just don't know if I like how they presented it in this movie.
And who, of course, is here to pick up the pieces? One guess.
This line?
Because
well...
I can...
Ah! This outfit. This outfit. They did right by this outfit. It's a little bit different than the original one. I really love the cartoon version of the dress as well. It's a gorgeous dress, but just making it all black with a purple tint and giving it full glitter. This is one of the better pieces of this movie in my opinion.
Now perhaps you have heard that the truest of beauty will shine from inside.
This is kind of the moment when I said I don't know if I like how they presented this. They started off really good. Her in her mirror room in front of the mirror that feels very Evil Queen-like, but now she is dancing around with her soldiers, singing towards her future like prisoner. I don't know if that's really the vibe that I expected from it.
And the gems and the jewels, all is fair.
And in this moment they gave her the cape with a red background.
You let me down, 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 down. In the dungeon you'll stay.
When you're the fairest.
And I think think this is a really good song for all my fellow mezzos out there. I think this is one we can sing quite nicely.
Because his name is Dopey doesn't mean he's actually a dope.
We're having this full-on discussion about Dopey, and Dopey is just like being distracted by this firefly.
Because you're happy, and I'm called Dopey because I'm
misunderstood. They made him funny. I like it.
Guys, let's all just try to be friends.
They're gonna throw things a hit. Yep. Yep, I knew it. He tried to make peace and they were like, no, food fight. So we saw that the firefly went into Dopey's mouth, and I think that's a reference to the bar of soap that we have in the cartoon version when they have to like wash their hands and clean their faces, and then Dopey eats the soap, because they cut that sound completely and nothing similar is in this movie. So I think this is the reference to it. Oh, look at poor Dopey.
Breakfast is supposed to go in your mouth.
Poor Dopey, and they're laughing at him. I feel so bad for him. Look at how sad he looks. He was just trying to protect the firefly.
Are you afraid to speak?
I am not going to cry because of Dopey. Oh my god. He's just so cute and it's just so sad. Grumpy is saying how he is misunderstood. Dopey is misunderstood.
See? Now you try.
I think this is such a cute and big moment for the movie because it leads us to the next song, Whistle While You Work, but it also connects to the dwarves whistling, which we have in the cartoon version when they sing their like mine working song Going to Work. And also the message behind it, how Snow here explains it, is just really pretty. Now I'm like Dopey here when it comes to whistling. I cannot whistle. That's a really pretty whistle. That's way too pretty.
I knew you could.
But look how cute he is. Also, why did none of the dwarves help him with his clothes? His clothes are too big. Why did nobody shorten his sleeves?
And you feel like they're not listening to sense?
Correct.
I take your point, Mr. Grumpy.
I love that she's, you know, trying to gentle parent them. She is like, hey, I see your point. I hear you. And the next song we're gonna get is Whistle While You Work, which is also a favorite of mine. Again, not in the original movie, but yes, in this movie.
She's really making herself at home.
She's really making herself at home.
You tidy up the room.
Okay, wait. This part, I think it's hilarious.
You clean those cobwebs and heal.
They took it out of the movie? I was so excited to act with the sound, but it's not in the movie. What? When you listen to the song on the album and Snow White says you clean those cobwebs, Sneeze, he goes, huh, what? And I think it's the funniest thing ever. And then Snow goes to Happy and says, and you have the broom. And he goes, oh, me? They did keep that part in, but they cut out the other part? Why? It's so funny.
And he'll use the broom.
Me?
Whistle while you work.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Here to help you set the pace.
That piece of music right there is also from the original song, just a little bit more modernized, but it still has the same melody to it, and I really like it.
Whistle while you work.
Yeah.
If you don't hush, I'll take this brush and shove it where the sun.
Kiss me. A lot of people were also hating on that part, that she's just kind of like singing it instead of humming or whistling it. but it's in the original song.
Whistle while you work.
Maybe the trick is wearing lipstick, because this is the best I've been whistling when listening to this song. And then slowing it down.
Whistle while you work.
Yeah, you barely got away from the queen the last time.
Gesundheit.
Do they say Gesundheit instead of bless you because Snow White original story is from Germany? Is that a little Easter egg they put in there?
Even you, Grumpy. Now, can you point me in the right direction?
Oh my god. Every finger goes a different way. See, and now they're whistling the song while going to work. Oh, and he bows to her, saying thank you. Dopey is so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. Guys, let me know what your favorite song of this soundtrack is. Drop it in the comments. I'm really curious to know which ones you like the most. The birds are... they're not just whistling, they literally sound like a car alarm. You know, maybe you shouldn't stand there. Maybe you should run when they're trying to alarm you. Girl, hide.
You're loyal to the one true king.
Right.
He sounds really sure of his case. Mm-hmm.
You must have mistaken me for a knight in shining armor.
That's kind of... that is kind of a funny thing to say.
Only problem is, times are looking bleak.
So princess, take a peek. This song is so iconic. It's really showing us the kind of relationship they have with each other now, that there's a little bit of feistiness, a little bit of sarcasm in between them, and I think that makes it a little bit more realistic. But can we talk about his outfit choice? I don't know if this is time accurate, because they gave him kind of like a hoodie. Is that something they used to have? It might be. I'm not entirely sure, but it just feels weird. Like they tried to combine the past with clothes from now and just put them together and then made the colors way more vibrant than they need to be. And that's their design for the clothing of this movie.
And prospects, well, they're rather grim.
I've seen this happening in movies when there's a necklace and they just kind of rip it off their neck, but doesn't that like hurt? I don't think it's supposed to come off that easy without anyone feeling anything. I've never actually tried it with a necklace because I feel like you're gonna break the necklace, but somebody let me know if you know this.
Does that dampen your day? Do the facts make you frown?
Also, where is she going? She is trying to look for the bandits. And he is the boss of the bandits, so why is she walking away from him? He already said he couldn't really help her finding her father, but does she think that the father is like 10 steps to the right? Like, what are you doing?
Well, that sounds an awful lot like princess problems. Finally learning that life's not fair. Seems to
that little instrument in the back that goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I like that.
I could try being kind or whatever you said. It's just that I'm partial to not being dead.
Literally, him doing the dead while lying on the stone with the flowers. Obviously, this resembles Snow White when she's supposedly in the coffin.
You should go tell the queen.
Oh, the stance. This is a little bit random.
My name's Jonathan, princess.
Hi, Jonathan.
Not Jonathan, princess. Just Jonathan. You have to run, princess.
What about all of you?
Now, I know they went from the song into the guards attacking them, but I feel it's a little bit odd that he has a gang of bandits and none of them either introduce themselves except for like the crossbow guy or ask who she is, why she's here, anything. They just kind of accept her that she's there and don't ask any questions or say anything.
We can tell you where the princess is.
I'm sorry, but that's not obvious. You go up to the guards and say, don't shoot, I can tell you where the princess is. And then you look at her and then you sigh like, go way to the back. None of you saw that? That was a good toss. He picked it up, threw it, and then wah! I know you said you don't fight fair, but how are you going to fight? Because These soldiers have swords. You have nothing.
Go.
This was actually a really smart plan to get the guards away from the bandits, distract them, and then you took his horse. Good move. But then what do? You go back to the bandits who are like 10 feet away from where the guards were, and then you let the horse go? What? You could have waited until the bandits were further away from the guards, until the guards were gone. Now you're just being at risk of being found again with the bandits again. They're having this intimate moment together while laying in the dirt, and the rest of this crew is just like, are you hearing this conversation? I feel like we should not be here. This is like a private conversation, but we're just gonna lay here and listen to it. Now, Snow White, why would you get back up while you were hiding from the guards? As I said, the guards might still be near, which they are.
We can give up our meager scraps.
I love that you're having this entire speech about how you should work together, but maybe fix the era situation first and then have your speech. Again, back to the point that I made earlier. Why is this group of bandits just following her? They don't know her. They met her 5 seconds ago. Jonathan gets shot and she probably said something along the lines like, oh, I maybe know a doctor that can help. But would you just trust her like this? We see nothing from what they're thinking. We don't see if they have any distrust in her, or we don't even know who they are. We have no connection to them whatsoever yet. All she needed this group for so far was to drag Jonathan's body to the dwarves, and she needs the era guy for later in the story, but other than that, this entire crew of his adds nothing to the story.
I used the blast furnace to cut through the bedrock, then drill to the fissure core.
We don't know what any of this means, Doc. Just say if he's okay or not.
To dance!
They again changed something music-wise. What? Why did they do this? Sneezy does one hachu, and then the song starts. On the soundtrack, he literally goes hachu, 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 and then the song starts.
I'm pretty sure Jonathan only cares about himself.
Girl, what do you mean he only cares about himself? This guy took an arrow for you. He literally saw it happening and decided to jump in front. The next song that is coming is also one of my favorites. The love song of Snow White and Jonathan. And it's just so cutesy.
I used to think that the way through the woods would be lonely. And suddenly I've watched the world come alive.
They did go a little bit crazy with the lights in this particular clip. Is it day? Is it night? Is it golden hour? We don't know because you keep shifting the light.
And maybe it might have a little something to do with you.
The light is so cute.
World would forever stay broken, cutthroat, and
the instruments in the back are so pretty.
And maybe I'm dreaming, promise to wake me with a kiss.
They literally said, promise to wake me with a kiss, which is obviously referring to him going to kiss her later to wake her up again. And I think they kind of put it in there as well to show that they've given consent to this, which is a big issue when it comes to the cartoon version. And next to the fact that they're actually singing it, we have this moment where they're really close, kind of like an almost kissing scene. So it's less weird that he's gonna kiss her later.
We'll find your father.
Here.
Oh my god, she literally ripped it off herself this time. Why would you do that to your necklace? There's supposed to be a clip in the back, unless it's magnetic. Does it have magnets to it? Because otherwise you should not be ripping it from your neck.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Stealing all the bread. That would be me. I would be like, thank you for the food, bye. Now, at this moment, giving the necklace to him was a big mistake because you just gave yourself away and sentenced him to his death. And, of course, she rips it from your neck as well. Why not?
I know her.
I think you mean new.
Now, how badass would it have been if she immediately just offed his head to make a statement? Because she very much says you knew her, but then she puts him in a dungeon, giving him time to escape again. She also could have used him to lure Snow White out. Put him on the square, make a whole statement, announcement, have her come back to the castle to save his life. She would have done it. 100% she would have fallen for that. I love this, having all the little bottles. It's not exactly like the cartoon version. As I said, it's been a while since I've seen it. But she actually had this whole like science experiment where she has to put in different things like a scream, and you know, she had the entire spell book to make the potion. Oh, then she goes to the dungeon, and did you see her throw her game? I do really like that you see her actually transitioning as she is singing about it. Like she says a hunch, and then the hunch comes, and she says a mane of white, and white hair falls down.
True love's kiss.
Yeah, so she thinks a true love's kiss is not gonna happen because she has her loved one in a dungeon. You know, to make sure it doesn't happen, you should have just taken off his head. I'm sorry, I don't actually want him to die. I like him, but from her point of view, I mean.
When you're the fairest
The apple and then the flashing lights to show the skull. Really cool. Very different than the cartoon version. Obviously in the cartoon version, they take way more time on this particular scene. You have the whole moment with the like raven or crow that's there, and she's actually really discussing how to make the potion. Here we see not even a raven or a crow, but I think it's what's the word in English? It's like those birds that fly around dead animals or dead people so they can eat them after. It's actually the ones that go towards the queen at the end of the cartoon version when she falls off the cliff. Which, spoiler alert, does not happen in this movie. But I think it was that bird that was actually here. So maybe that's why they chose to do this bird instead of the original crow, so they could still have this bird in the movie. Oh, there's the bird again. I am not entirely sure, but she was humming, and I actually think that she was humming the song Someday My Prince Will Come. Did y'all hear that? I think she was like,
Who did you say you were?
I like this. Instead of being a naive young girl that just lets anyone in, she is getting a little bit suspicious of this old lady. She's like, who did you say you were again? How do you know my name? What are you doing here? And how did you find me?
I will help you. Here.
I'm sorry, what is an apple going to do? How is an apple going to save her, save the kingdom, save Jonathan?
I remember how generous your father was to his people.
This is smart, because the reason why you would have to take the apple was a little bit weak, but then saying that it reminds her of the king, Snow White's father, and how this is like her returning the favor because he was always so kind to her. That's a good reason, because that's gonna hit her emotionally. That is a really pretty shot though, of her hand with the apple. This is a really pretty setup, having her lying on a rock with all the flowers above her. So, is she dead for multiple days, actually?
We've done this every day. It hasn't moved.
You gotta give the man some credit for being committed.
She never gave up on us. I am not giving up on her.
That's a good motivational speech. I like it. And then the instruments in the back. It's so pretty. You don't even ask what happened. I feel like when you would see her, you would be like, oh my god, what happened? Is she sleeping? Is she dead? Like, how did this happen? Oh. And then him touching the hand. I didn't realize it until now, but their song, they sing, a hand meets a hand. And now he put his hand on her head.
Hey, what's wrong?
Oh. I need a moment. I need a moment. Still nobody is asking how she went into a coma or what happened, but okay. Oh, it's starting to snow. Like right now. In the middle of what looks like spring.
Time?
Time to restore our kingdom.
It was restore our kingdom. I was close enough.
Let her try.
Dopey spoke! I was so surprised by this choice. But I like it. Now she's turned from Snow White to Red Riding Hood. How do you still have that? Girl, it's been like at least 10 years, maybe even more. How is the flower crown that she gifted you as a kid still like intact? Flowers die within a couple of days. She could have said something though. Everybody's just kind of following her now because I think they trust that one girl that said, hey, I remember you from when I was a kid. But she could have come in and made a whole statement saying, I am Snow White, the rightful queen of this kingdom, and I'm here to take back my throne. Follow me and we'll get back to how it was before. Like something. That was so badass.
Paul.
This reminds me so much of the live action Aladdin when Jasmine is also being captured by the guard. And she is also like saying like, Hakim, I know you. You were there for me and my father. Like, how can you betray us? It's giving the same vibes.
I'm still the fairest.
Famed is thy beauty. She will always be more fair than thee.
That's a little bit horrifying how she turns into this dark statue. It's definitely a different ending than the original one. I have seen similar endings like these to other Snow White adaptations, but it's very pretty how you see all the shards of glasses everywhere with her face on it as well, and then the mirror again recites in a dark voice that she is not the prettiest. And then I guess she is kind of eaten by the mirror.
The queen ruled with kindness and love.
I love that we repeat to the idea that this story is being read and that Dopey was the one who's been telling us the story the entire time. And now, for some reason, everybody's wearing white. Wardrobe. Why are all the outfits still exactly the same, just completely in white? Snow White's dress actually looks better right now because you cannot see all the weird details that they put at the front. We don't see the red string anymore that's there for no reason. Why is Jonathan still wearing the same layers and the hoodie in the back, but just white? Missed opportunity! That was Disney's live action version of Snow White. They took the old version, made it a little bit more modern, but still kept some of the things similar to the original version. Soundtrack, amazing. Visuals, amazing. Set design, amazing. Outfits, eh. My dedication with this outfit for this movie, also amazing. You giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel, also amazing. No, but seriously, hopefully you enjoyed my reaction to this movie and hopefully you'll come back to watch my next video.